over time, they graduated from having a couple of outside organizations cooking with church supervision to now it's about 3/4 outside groups coming in with a church supervisor for each shift. And then
Okay, welcome everybody to the Two-Way Street Coffee House. Thank you so much for braving the cold, realistic Chicago weather and joining us this evening. We have had live music in this room for 54 years now, every Friday night. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing in the tradition that is this room. If you could please turn off your cell phones, that would be wonderful because this is a listening room. We like to make sure that we're not being disruptive to the audience. Tonight we have Jim Gary. Yes. Not only is he a fantastic songwriter, fantastic musician, but he's also a fantastic friend of the Two-Way Street. So we're really glad that he's able to perform for us tonight. So let's give Jim a big round of applause. Welcome, Jim.
Now I have to really do this, don't I? So just a little program note. The role of Jim Gary tonight will be played by a butterball turkey. Yes. So, let me get in here. All right, let's see how this goes. I was always afraid I'd just grow up to be me. I was raised believing things that I just couldn't see. I'm tired of striving, never arriving somewhere they said I should be. It's time to start coping, instead of just hoping luck to make a star out of me. Go with the flow of your dreams, not with the flow of the status quo. No, go with the flow of your dreams, no matter how hard it seems. I need to find a place I feel I really belong. Time and space in my life where the music and magic is strong. I'm tired of waiting, anticipating lady luck to happen along. It's time to start trying instead of relying on someone else sing my song. Go with the flow of your dreams, not with the flow of the status quo. No, go with the flow of your dreams, no matter how hard it seems. The sky's the limit, what you can do, and there's a star shining for you. Go with the flow of your dreams, not with the flow of the status quo. No, go with the flow of your dreams, no matter how hard it is to. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Oh, yes. Thank you. I guess I should have warmed up. I didn't hit that last note, but, you know, we'll fix it in the mix. All right. So, I had a client friend that I played that for. He came out. He's a nice guy. Came out to see me play, and the next day at work, he said, "I really like that first song you did because I've been doing that ever since I married my wife, Flo." Oh, okay, you know, so it works. Well, this is a little song that I wrote back when I was in AA, Awkward Adolescence. The first Sadie Hawkins dance. Hey, Uncle Charlie, can I borrow your wife? Learn me to dance real soon. Saturday, Sadie, is the first of my life, and I want this young girl to swoon. My problem is one too many left feet, too many weak knees. I don't want to chance her, I want to romance her and dance her rings around the moon. Dance her rings around the moon. Well, she told me her dad was this dandy dancer, a regular Fred Bojangles. Asked me to the dance and I swallowed my answer as my feet and my tongue got tangled. Sure, I said I'd go, but now I don't know. I can't leave her just standing there. It takes two to tango, to fan the fandango and dance those rings around the moon. Dance those rings around the moon. So hey, Uncle Charlie, can I borrow your wife? Learn me to dance real soon. Saturday, Sadie, is the first of my life, and I want this young girl to swoon. My problem is one too many left feet, too many weak knees. I don't want to chance her, I want to romance her and dance her rings around the moon. Dance her rings around the moon. Well, he wasn't my uncle, but a close family friend, playing trumpet in the band. Down in his basement, he showed me some steps, gave me his wife Betty's hand. She danced me around that pool table where I must have looked twice as green. She said, well, you're not so lame, why you put Fred to shame? You're dancing rings around the moon. Dancing rings around the moon. So thanks, Uncle Charlie, for lending your wife. Learn me to dance real soon. Saturday, Sadie, the best night of my life, and boy, did that girl ever swoon. With everyone watching our dance hall debut, I led her out onto the floor. I twirled her, I tripped her, and delicately dipped her and danced her rings around the moon. Danced her rings around the moon. Hey, Uncle Charlie, can I borrow your wife? Woo. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thanks. Well, my friends years ago were after me to write some country songs. So I sent for my Roy Clark big note guitar book, and I learned how to pick like this. Just like that. Simple but tasty. And I don't know if you noticed, but country songs tend to generate around certain themes, like, you know, your truck, your wife, your dog, whiskey, beer, your ex-wife, your ex-dog, your ex-truck. You know, if you play country music backwards, you get all those things back. You know, your wife comes back, you know. Your mother, prison, Christmas. Oh yeah, and cheating. Cheating's a big theme. So this is a little down-home country cheating song that I wrote for my mother. Well, I know everybody is doing it. It makes you smile, wink, look away. But I never gave much thought to it till it all hit home today. Sister's got suspicions that a heart of gold could melt when that yearning, burning feeling hits you right underneath your belt. She said, I wonder if Mama's cheating. There's so much writing on the wall. I wonder if Mama's cheating when you stop, consider it all. Lunch dates with old classmates she hasn't heard from in years. I wonder if Mama's cheating, our very own Mama dear. Man, where's Roy Clark when I need him? Now she's a picture of contentment with that Mona Lisa smile. Like a cat that ate the canary and her eyes aglow all the while. Daddy don't seem to mind it, he says he's loved her through thick and thin. 'Cause when they wed, they both said it's rich or poor, feast or famine. So don't bother if your mama's cheating, she's still worth her weight in gold to me. Don't bother if your mama's cheating, a little forbidden fruit never hurt nobody. You ain't for sure knowing she's been tiptoeing in and all around the place. Proof is in the pudding, boy, you better just shut your face. But I just had to confront her, though to do it nearly broke my heart. 'Cause I didn't know how to say it, and I didn't know where to start. I finally popped the question, and I hoped she would understand. But she chewed on it and stewed on it, and the spit hit the fan. So you think your mama's been cheating when everybody's gone to bed? You think your mama's been cheating? Boy, I ought to slap you upside your head. Food for thought is all you got, and I don't even care to deny it. And I knew she ain't been cheating. Mama, she ain't been cheating. My mama, she ain't been cheating on her diet. Gotcha. It's a true story. Not my mother, but a friend said that her kids were accusing her of cheating on her diet when she was out, to lunch with the ladies from work. So I wrote that for her. Okay. Well, years ago I saw this play called Chamber Music. It's about a bunch of women in a insane asylum. And they all thought they were somebody famous. So the most believable character was Amelia Earhart, because she carried a parachute around the whole play. Saying, I had engine trouble. I bailed out. I landed in the courtyard. Hi, I'm Amelia Earhart. Right, lock her up. So, but one of the other characters in the play was just referred to as the girl in the gossamer dress. And I like that. My parochial background made me change it to the girl in the gossamer gown. This is a little song that I don't remember writing. In fact, I don't remember writing any of these songs. This one, I used to say this one was old enough to drink. Now it's old enough to run for president. So this is a little song about letting your inner child out to play. She's just a girl at heart, dancing through her day, throws a kiss to all the boys, and then she runs away with that sweet, sweet smile. The girl in the gossamer gown is all grown up with things to do, running town to town to town to town to town, hiding in her heart wherever she flies. Little girl of hide and seek is hiding in her eyes. Just the girl in the gossamer gown has a child in her eyes. There's a little boy inside the man, playing finders keepers, seeks her out wherever he can, and he sends her colored papers with hearts and flowers. Boldly he wears on his sleeve. He knows she's magic, what dreams can do, and the magic of the dream is make-believe. In taking the chance, if only he tries, he could be the lucky one who ends up with the prize. 'Cause the boy inside of the man wants the child in her eyes. The man fears a little boy's tugging it too hard on her dress. The lady's afraid the little girl might say yes. Their fears are flying in the face of romance, but they'll never be the wiser if they don't give the kids a chance. Child in her eyes, barefoot in the rain, boy is splashing after her spider webbing wedding train of dewdrops and diamonds. Oh, how they sparkle, they shine. He wonders aloud and she overhears, will that child in your eyes be mine? She grabs him by the heart, he takes her hand. The rain is pouring down as they dance around the band. Now the girl in the gossamer gown has his child in her eyes. Yes, the girl in the gossamer gown has his child in her eyes. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Those are our songs from my Midnight Muse album over there. About 1996. So if you want to see me with long freaky hair and stuff, you know, pictures on the back. You know. So this next song started out with an image of my father dunking windmill cookies in his coffee. Kind of a poor man's Don Quixote. So. The old man tilts the windmill down into his coffee cup, starts to spin a youthful yarn without even glancing up. Slowly lifts his hoary head and looks you in the eye. Says, believe me, boy, what I'm telling you, I'm too old to tell a lie. He led me through a story maze that wound around his mind, unraveled all his glory days he once held and left behind. The endless nights and the beer bottle fights, the time he almost wed. Then he seemed to pause and catch his breath. He smiled and sighed and said, don't be afraid to laugh, boy. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to feel or fail. Set your sail and fly. And there'll be no remorse at the end of your course. You won't be afraid to die if you're never afraid to fly. He said, I hardly knew my father before his days were done. Now here I sit in his captain's chair, and I hardly know my son. And the only woman that I ever loved died before I knew how to sing her song, or dream her dream, or whisper I love you. Don't be afraid to laugh, boy. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to feel or fail. Set your sail and fly. And there'll be no remorse at the end of your course. You won't be afraid to die if you're never afraid to fly. The old man tilts a windmill down into his coffee cup. He lets it fall without a sound, doesn't pick it up. Head in his hands, he starts to cry till he's resting peacefully. And the cookie crumbles in the cup like a dream washed out to sea. Don't be afraid to laugh, boy. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to feel or fail. Set your sail and fly, and there'll be no remorse at the end of your course. You won't be afraid to die if you're never afraid to fly. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Well, you know what they say, you should live every day as if it's your last, because one of these days you're going to be right. So this is a Michael Peter Smith song on that theme. On the last day of Pompeii, thought I heard some poor boy say, oh wow, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done more, been more than I've been, had fun more, sin more, mortal sin, oh wow, I knew then what I know now. I know I would have sent back that steak, it was so overdone. Grab that big break while there was still time. Made my life into a fantasy. Hot stuff for me, all that stuff to remember. And now that I'm a goner, all that lava rushing round the corner, oh wow man, I ain't complaining, only thinking out loud. Well, my life would be different, my love would be different if I knew then what I know now. Oh, my life would be different, my love would be different if I knew then what I know now. On the last day of Pompeii, thought I heard some poor girl say, oh wow man, if I knew then what I know now, I would have taken up a slide trombone, had a garden and grew my own. Oh wow man, if I knew then what I know now, I know I would have taken that Mediterranean cruise, filled up on chocolate, cigarettes and booze, giving some perfect stranger the blues. Hot stuff for me, all that stuff. And speaking of hot stuff, when Vesuvio came to call, arrivederci, I'd have had a ball. Oh wow man, I ain't complaining, only thinking out loud. Well, my life would be different, my love would be different if I knew then what I know now. Oh, my life would be different, man, my wife would be different if I knew then what I know now. Ciao. Thank you, thanks a lot. Well, I grew up in the dogless years of my family. My older siblings had a dog, and my youngest brother had a dog, but we really didn't have a dog when I was growing up, so I met this woman that had a dog. So So I thought, well, I got to have a dog song. So we sat down and we traded stories for a little bit. So I wrote this song for her dog, Lucky. Lucky was an old dog, came scratching at the back door of her heart, seeking shelter from the storm. He was afraid of the rain and the thunder of trains and lightning. He came asking for nothing more than a bed and a bowl full of water that wasn't falling on his head, and maybe just a treat or two if she didn't think it too forward above and beyond the call, but she gladly gave it all for his love and affection, his unwavering love, and a wag in her direction. Oh, he barked happily, said, I guess you could call me Lucky, yeah, that's me. I'm lucky, that's me. It was lucky for me in this dog-eat-dog kind of a world that she was that kind of a girl that shared kindness with stray dogs and strangers. If I dared to say, I'm certain she'd agree they don't come any stranger than me, with a heart of a hobo and a can of half-baked beans and schemes and ready-to-eat dreams to go, jumping on any train, a thought that comes along to vex her mind, for a hex sign in her window, words to some old forgotten song. What was that song? Her name was Joanne, and she lived in the meadow by a pond with an old dog named Lucky. Yeah, Lucky and me. There's those dog years, Lucky and me through the dog days of her summer, chasing around after our own tails, Lucky racing along the rails and barking at the boxcars, and me and her waiting on some midnight special come rolling through the park, strolling in the dark and panting after her kisses and serious stargazing for the brightest one to cast all of our wishes upon, for this kind-hearted soul of a woman and a couple old lucky dogs, just a couple old lucky dogs. Well, her name was Joanne, and she lived in the meadow by a pond with an old dog named Lucky. Yeah, Lucky and me. Yeah, Lucky and me. All right. I had another friend toss me this line back in the mid-90s, and I said, well, this is a country song if I ever heard one. So her so-called friends tried to burst her bubble. They say her man is one world of trouble. They saw him drinking down at Bodies in Motion, and she better start thinking there's more fish in the ocean. They said he stumbled out at 2:15, and girl, he was more than half past cheating on you. But she said, I don't care where he wets his whistle, I don't care if his eyes roam, I don't care where he gets his appetite, as long as he eats at home, long as he eats at home. They saw him flirting at the bowling alley with that Givens girl, I think her name is Sally. He's just a hurtin' that's waiting to happen, and they'd be remiss, girl, if you got caught napping. So wake up, girl, they said, and smell the bacon. He's got misgivings, and you're sadly mistaken. She said, I don't care where he wets his whistle. I don't care if his eyes roll. I don't care where he gets his appetite, as long as he eats at home. Long as he eats at home. He's window shopping and it don't mean much, as long as he stays on his side of the glass. He can look as long as he don't touch, 'cause he knows if he did, she would kick his ass. She says, I don't care where he wets his whistle. I don't care if his eyes roll. I don't care where he gets his appetite, as long as he eats at home. Long as he eats at home. Come on home, honey, it's supper time. Thank you. Thanks a lot. See if I can do this right. I just threw that in there in case Eric Clapton ever hears this. Maybe it'll pique his interest. Loneliness is in the house tonight. Stand up and take a bow. Loneliness in this house tonight. Let me tell you how. Came in late on the midnight train. Rode all night through the driving rain. Loneliness in this house. Emptiness in this bed tonight. Place you used to lie. Emptiness in my bed tonight. Don't you even wonder why? Came in late on the midnight train. Rode all night through the driving rain. Emptiness in this house. Don't you try to tell me that this love was never real. Don't you even try to tell me how you think I should feel. Bitterness in this heart tonight, pumping in and out every vein. Bitterness in my mouth tonight, spitting out your bloody name. Came in late on the midnight train. Rode all night through the driving rain. Bitterness in this house. Loneliness is in the house tonight. Stand up and take a bow. Loneliness in this house tonight. Don't you even ask me how. Came in late on the midnight train. Rode all night through the driving rain. Loneliness in this house. In this house tonight. Tonight. And it's getting near dawn. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Well, I try to focus a lot on lyric. You know, a clever lyric here and there. But every once in a while, you run into somebody who don't care what the words are. You know, they want to dance. You know? So I don't know if you can dance to this, but I wrote this for a girl like that. Words won't move her heart, you've gotta move her feet. Words won't move her heart, she wants to feel that beat. Wax poetic in her ear till the world runs out of rhyme. Won't get your foot in the door to her heart unless you're kicking it in 4/4 time. 'Cause words won't move her heart, you've gotta move her feet. Words won't move her heart, she wants to feel that beat. You can sing her songs of love until the sun goes down. Won't punch your ticket to a paradise unless you're taking her to Footloose Town. 'Cause words won't move her heart, you gotta move her feet. Words won't move her heart, she wants to feel that beat. If it ain't grooving, she ain't moving into your atmosphere. You could be crooning over the moon, but still she won't stop to lend you her ear. 'Cause words won't move her heart, you've gotta move her feet. Words won't move her heart, she wants to feel that beat. Words won't move her heart, you've gotta move her feet. And I'll give it about a 3. You know, you really can't dance to it. Yes, it's cold out there. So, there's another Michael Smith song that seems to be good for the time of year. I'm sick and tired of these windy days. Come on, darling, let's fly away to Omakayapua. Ooh, ooh, wahina e-a-o, kalei-o, kamaka-a-ah-ah. Just a little island in the South Pacific. I've never been there, but it sounds terrific, don't it? Omakayapua, ooh, ooh, wahina e-a-o, kalei-o, kamaka-a-ah-ah. I looked it up in my atlas, yeah. It's just a dot on the map. But oh, that a name stretched to Portland, Maine. I had to practice till I learned how to swing it. Oh, Makayapua, ooh, ooh, wahina e-a-o, kalei-o, kamaka-a-ah, ah, ah. Move over, Mr. Gauguin. Ah, move over, Mr. Gauguin. Just got one palm tree, one tropical bird, whistles nothing but jazz. One native girl in one grass skirt. Her name is Sally, she's a bebop and howly Loki. Oh, Makayapua, everybody, ooh, wahina e-a-o, kalei-o, kamaka-a-ah, ah, ah, ah. Move over, Mr. Gauguin. Ah. They say as you're leaving the island of Omakayapua, ooh, ooh, wahina e-a-o, kalei-o, kamaka-a-ah. If you throw your lei in the water and it floats back to shore, the natives will sell it again. Oh, Makayapua, ooh, wahina e-a-o, kalei-o, kamaka-a-ah, ah, ah. Move over, Mr. Gauguin. I want Samoa, Samoa. Move over, Mr. Gauguin. Well, I'm a real gone howly. Move over, Mr. Dogan. Move over, Mr. Dogan.
Hey.
Michael Smith, the late, great Michael Smith. Well, that's all the songs I know. Which ones do you want to hear again? Let's see. That's not right, is it? Is that right? I don't think so. First day at school, teach you the golden rule. Say yes sir, no ma'am, how do you do? Till that second grader gives you the old 1-2 and knocks you down on your grass. To the cheering chorus from the rest of his class. Nice guys finish last. Only mean men finish first. And you don't need a sermon on the mount to tell you that neatness don't count. Join the baseball team. Try to keep your uniform clean. Oh, the pitcher hit your face with the ball. It's the only time you got on the base at all. And the coach says, steal, slide, hug that bag. You're all over center field trying to avoid the tag, 'cause nice guys finish last. Only mean men finish first, and you don't need a sermon on the mount to tell you that neatness don't count. Play me some of them sloppy chords, yes sir. Find yourself a girl with some chutzpah. Late at night you're in her boudoir, but she's not looking very thrilled, no sir. As a matter of the fact, she's looking rather ill, and you laying on the floor on your head, ouch. And a voice comes from back in the bed, she said, nice guys finish last. Only a mean daddy would finish first, and you don't need a sermon on your mount to tell you that neatness don't count. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. There's another Michael Smith song that I kind of like. In the lamplight burning low and dimly, through enchanted woods she rocked, beside a fire that was never lit. As we ran by pretending to be frightened, we would shout and laugh at Crazy Mary. Crazy Mary from Londonderry lives next door to the cemetery. How many lovers have you buried? We would shout running scared along the green and the golden paths that led us home, away from crazy Mary. She would never answer us, just smile through the window softly, wild-eyed and wild-haired, and we were sure in the dark of night she cursed us soundly, casting spells and stuff to turn us into donkeys. So they went the summer years, each one more fleeting than the last one, rushing down the green and golden paths. Soon the woods were not enchanted anymore, for we had grown and forgotten crazy Mary. As it comes that older now, we stand upon this windswept moor. Lonely stone before us testifies. Crazy Mary rocks and smiles and dreams her dreams somewhere, but not where little kids can follow after. Yet on the stone these words, dear friend, please write me down as one who loved the raven-haired and laughing lads who swore they would marry me, but soon their sons came running by, and here I lie, forgotten, crazy Mary. In the lamplight burning low and dimly through enchanted woods, we think about the sins that we commit. Along the green and golden paths of growing up, we light the fire and say a prayer for crazy Mary. Michael Smith. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm going to do one more. Take a little break. Got a tune for this. Turn that on. So about 15, 16 years ago, I made the mistake of Googling my ex. That wasn't funny. What am I not hearing here?
There you go.
Thank you, Douglas. So when I did that, I found an obituary for her stepfather. And so I learned that she had gotten remarried. So I said to myself, Jim, it's been 15 years. It's time to move on, get over that. So I got up the next day and I wrote this song. I don't know if that's right. Doug, you want to come up and tune my guitar?
There you go.
Down another half step.
This is going to be anticlimactic now, isn't it? Close enough, I don't know. Well, I went out walking late the other night in the dark of a new moon. All the stars above were lending light. The whole universe seemed in tune. When in a distant flash, then thunder, I saw what used to be our star. Made me stop and wonder how you're doing. where you are. I wish you luck. I wish you love. I wish you every happiness. I wish you hope. I wish you joy. I wish you tenderness and bliss. I wish you all of this. I wish our hearts had had the metal and all the means to make it through. That in the end we didn't settle on just the easy thing to do. That our love stayed young and smiled through all those stormy skies. That we never lost that child who danced so briefly in our eyes. I wish you luck. I wish you love. Every happiness. I wish you hope. I wish you joy. I wish you tenderness and bliss. I wish you all of this. You know it's so ironic to finally see the light. Years since that star is all burned out. Guess that's what wishes are all about. Then as I turned back toward home to go, a single raindrop streaked my face. I felt the moon begin to tug and tow my heart up to a higher place, where the tides reveal life's ebb and flow through all those depths we are. As I turned that corner, I whispered low, a final wish upon that fading star. I wish you luck, I wish you love, I wish you every happiness. I wish you hope, I wish you joy, I wish you tenderness and bliss. I wish you all of this. I wish you all of this. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Stick around. There's more stuff coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. That was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Why don't you tell all the lovely people about your very one night only, tonight's
Yes,
the night CD offer.
everyone can pick out a CD of their choice over there. Some of the songs, all the songs I did are on some of those.
So yeah, be sure to make your way over to the piano and check out all of the offerings that Jim has. So quite a few, and they're all wonderful. We're going to take a short break, probably about 10 or 15 minutes. The bathrooms are down the hall and on the left. Please refill all of your coffee and snacks, and we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, Jim.
This is the best I've seen him. The best venue. I mean, it's just, yeah, just it was, yeah, just like around the circle in Annie's face, or on Zoom, or and you go, no, he like played Val. He had a gig at a bar, and the bar they wanted to rock it. So he opened for yeah, most bars won't I like the newer, the jazz stuff. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really, no.
Trying desperately to get work for.
No, it's was on a there was a commercial kid that came out. I used to put it on when I was in high school. Oh. When I worked in a lumber yard. And my until somebody said, next crap off.
What's that? Was that WCFL or something? It was AM, right?
No, it wasn't. There's another, there was an AM station. You could only get on the south side. No, every time I went, I had to take some of it away or it was like,
Oh, is that right?
I guess that station was so cool. Alright.
Yeah, that's a great song. So I wish you, yeah, I wish you,
No, I love Buck because he was, all the records were amazing. You could hear him like,
it's a little bit cool in here for me. Yeah, I'm gonna wear something warmer next time. Yeah. I thought I'd be pretty warm with this fleece on.
Wall probably isn't very well.
I don't know, yeah. It might look a little fun, I've got a nice warm jacket, but it might be a little funny wearing my down jacket. Oh, was it?
Hot water heat, you can see where they cut it out with a little piece of unpainted card.
Well, I'll dress better next time. So was this a chain that you worked in? Managing?
Two links.
Two what?
Two links. Very short chain.
Oh, so how long did you do the managing of the pizza place?
10 years, from 72 to 82.
So what else have you done?
Construction. What I would generalize as exterior home improvements, soffit coaches, gutters, patio enclosures, screen rooms, Wendy's windows.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
That kind of thing. When I decided I needed a regular job where I could work for a long term and have a steady paycheck and benefits like health insurance that I didn't have to pay for completely out of my own pocket, I started driving trucks.
Oh, really? Over the road trucks?
Well, same size, but mostly I was home every day.
Oh, so you were driving what they call them, city trucks?
Intermodal. Yeah, they didn't. Intermodal is the overseas containers.
Right, yeah.
The ones I drove aren't overseas. They're domestic.
Oh, it's amazing how containers have taken over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
You
didn't.
hardly ever see freight trains with a row of boxcars anymore. It's all double stacked.
Yeah, I didn't realize until a few years ago that the breakthrough with container freight was standardizing the container sizes. That was it. I mean, it didn't occur to me how important that might be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for stacking them on ships.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw I don't know if it's a video or just a photo online a while back. It was some sort of big container ship that was listed, and the containers falling into the port.
but the only thing I
tune that way.
Put it best where you had it before the break.
So does your little tuning thing show you what you're tuned to, or how does it? How can you tell if you're on the spot?
Well, it lights up green for that note.
Okay.
So if I'm tuning into a D note, if it's red, it's on either side. It shows that it's sharp or flat.
The one I have is red if you're low and yellow if you're high, and then it turns green when you're on the note, and it'll say G or C or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for explaining. Yeah, sadly he died recently. There's a guy, I think his name is Dave, who has developed this YouTube channel called Smart Trucking. And it's fascinating, the kind of information that he would put out. You know, like for instance, just recently, one of his points was that to not just let your truck idle for hours on end, because it was very wearing on the engine. That the oil wasn't circulating properly.
You don't get enough oil pressure.
Okay, we're going to get started again here in a few minutes, so if you can make your way back to your seats, I'm going to talk for a little bit. So we have some great things coming up at the Coffee House in the month of December. Starting next week, we have Trillium. Then we have Bittersweet Christmas Band. Then we have Small Potatoes. And then the last week of the month, we're going to be doing a partnership with an organization called Music and Potlucks. And what they are is a 501c3 that kind of brings music to the community, and it can be any kind of event, from having a potluck or an outdoor concert or a house concert, and all the proceeds go to local area charities. So we've teamed up with them, so the concert on the last Friday of the month is going to benefit the West Suburban Community Pantry. So all throughout the month of December, we're going to be collecting non-perishable and toiletries, and we're going to give them on the last day. And of course, if you want to make a monetary donation to the West Suburban Community Pantry, you can see me. All of the proceeds, 100% of the donations at the door, plus everything that we collect, is going to go to them for that evening. So we're really proud to be able to help give back to the community and the food insecure in our areas. So then we have other things in the area. December 14th, Lee Murdoch is going to be doing his Christmas ship concert at Acoustic Wren. And then tomorrow is Muriel Anderson. So you won't want to miss that. And that's upstairs, I believe, yes. Also tomorrow is the 5th Saturday, and we've been doing workshops on the 5th Saturdays of the month when they occur, usually about 4 times a year. So tomorrow is our last one. It's with Jenny Beneman, and it's a songwriting workshop. So if you want to come, see me, and I'll make sure that you get in. There's a lot of great stuff coming up, so be sure to take any flyers out on the rack so that you can take in all the good stuff. And I want to thank our volunteers tonight. So we have Ruth helping at the counter. Tim is doing sound. My name is Jennifer. We are always looking for volunteers. So please see me if you'd like to volunteer. You get to watch the concerts for free. And it's really not that hard. We don't have a lot of math, so it's good stuff. All right, so thank you for listening to me talk. We're going to have another wonderful set from our friend Jim Gary. So let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for sticking around. I'm debating if I should just do this now and get it out of the way, or save it for later. So this is another Michael Smith song. So your dealer, man, Steve, man, moved to Cleveland, man, and you're trusting that it must have been fate. After all, by now, most of your best friends are either busted or straight, dead from smoking and drinking, and you're thinking, man, now that you're a senior, man, you want to wean yourself from the wicked weed. Well, it's all real nice, but here is some advice I do believe that you are gonna need. Rip and Winkle, while you were sleeping there, folks have taken to keeping their freak flags furled. Yeah, the world has been evolving at a pretty fair clip since 1968. Yeah, it used to be slow and groovy and hip, now it's proceeding at a faster rate, accelerating, and I'd like to set you straight. My friend and fellow hippie, here's hoping that you'll hear and that you'll heed. I think you're gonna find that life gets pretty damn zippy when you quit doing weed. Yeah, life gets pretty zippy when you quit doing weed. Maine to Mississippi, things are picking up speed. New York to California, don't say I didn't warn you. Atlantic to Pacific, let me get specific. Life becomes a superhighway. You know you dance and linger. You do less than 90, folks are passing, flashing you the finger. Yeah, it seems to me the things were moving and grooving, and now they're only moving. Yes, indeed. Life gets pretty zippy when you quit doing weed. Can you dig it? Dig what I mean? That's the ticket. Let me set the scene now. Sun zips up, sun zips down. Zippy little cloud zipping over Zippy Town, over palm pilers, pagers, beepers, faxes, and such. Folks in Zippy Town are down with keeping in touch. Barreling in the SUVs, passing on the right, zipping through the zippy day, zipping through the night. Zippity zip, they get the jobs and money, zip, they have the kids, zip, they in the coffin, folks is zipping up the lid. Speaking of lids, man, life gets pretty zippy when you quit doing weed. Maine to Mississippi, things are picking up speed. Mexico City to Toronto, things are having way pronto. Pacific to Atlantic, man, it's getting frantic. Life becomes a superhighway. You know you dance and fidget. You do less than 90, folks are passing, flashing you, they fidget. Yeah, it seems to me that things are mild and lazy, and now they're wild and crazy, you'll concede. Life gets pretty zippy when you quit doing weed. Power mowers, leaf blowers, car alarms blasting. So long, Janis Joplin. Hello, Marilyn Manson. Folks zipping to get married on TV for fame and greed. Zipping down to the Bahamas, zipping back to Pop and Mama. Boomboxes, weed whackers, air hammers, structure backers. Everybody's under construction. Steroids, liposuction, space station. Satellites taking pictures day and night. Upgrades, power walking. Your machine of mind talking. Gridlock, pre-approved. Bring the cell phone to the Louvre. Big Brother, CNN news to dive around the bed. Green ketchup, your ad here. Warming up the atmosphere with grandma's homemade apple pie that's been genetically modified by robot dogs on eBay that copyright your DNA. Jet skis, man. Laid back, hey Jack, come on, get real. It's a straight life, it's a great life, besides you made the deal. I see you got enough left for one last toke. I'm happy for you, man, I hope it's real good smoke. You put it in the pipe, you light it up, and as it glows, you hear Judy Collins singing, who knows where the time goes. Wave on, Judy, that girl knows how to wail. Oh, don't sing along, man, too late, you exhaled. Yeah, life is pretty zippy when you quit doing weed. Maine to Mississippi, things are picking up speed. Roman, Greek, and Nova Scotia, man, everything's in motion, man. Earth and hell and heaven, better get your motor revving. Life becomes a superhighway. You know you dance it, and although you becomes a superhighway, you do your best, you find that folks pass you by with that old familiar gesture. Yeah, I'd like to think they're waving goodbye to the lava lamp, the Nehru jacket, the love beads, strawberry roller papers, bags of stem and seed. Once you're Jimi Hendrix experiencing, now you're Kenny G. Life gets pretty zippy when you quit doing weed. Anybody ask you who wrote this song, boy, say it was Michael Peter Smith from Chicago, Illinois. Why in the world would a cat want to write a song about quitting boo? You give some guys a hit of acid, you never know what they're going to do. What if I want to learn the tune, man, how the progression goes? Sorry, man, can't help you there. Different chords for different shows. But if you get the recording, take a tip from me before you put it in the player. Lick the CD. And the song is called Zippy. I think it's pretty trippy. Said Guy Kippy to Rodney Allen Rippy, Glippy Glop, Glippy, Nippy Nappy Nippy, Yippee Yippee. You can bet your bippy, as little Richard Pettiman said to DJ Alan Freed, as Igor Stravinsky said en français to Andre Gide, as Tonto said to the Lone Ranger's favorite nephew, Dan Reed. Life plenty zippy when not do weed. Uncle Smith. Close. Oh yeah. So, well, you know that Mama hasn't been cheating on her diet. So about a year later, I went back to visit the same friends, and they said, "Well, what's Mama been up to?" I said, "I don't know, you tell me." And he said, "Well, I was thinking he he had this dream sequence where he and I said, you know, I don't really like dream sequence stuff, you know, when you're watching something and you're going, oh, this is finally happening, and then they wake up and you go, you bastards. You know, so I said, let me think about it and we'll see what I can figure out. So the next day I was in the shower getting ready to drive back to Chicago, and I wrote this song. Who would have ever believed it? Who would have ever guessed? Staple in her navel, thumbprints on her breast, creases in those golden thighs everyone's to have and hold. Who would have ever believed it? My mama made the centerfold. Well, it all started with that diet, made Mama Peacock proud. She's strutting like a schoolgirl, and Daddy started lusting right out loud. She read about the contest, thought she'd give it a try, and Daddy smiled with approval. He said, Mama, well, let's do it or die. And who would have ever believed it? Who would have ever guessed? A staple in her navel, thumbprints on her breast, creases in those golden thighs everyone's to have and hold. Who would have ever believed it? My mama made the centerfold. Now, after what seemed like months of waiting, those time just rolled like water off a duck's back. We all rushed down to the drugstore the day the magazine hit the rack, and all these people were feasting their eyes, saying, oh, how tastefully obscene. 'Cause Mama's dietetic duck a la orange made the Weight Watchers magazine. And who would have ever believed it? Who would have ever guessed? The staple in that navel, orange and thumbprints on the breast, creases in those golden thighs everyone's to have and hold. Who would have ever believed it? My mama made the centerfold. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. Way back, I used to date this girl that couldn't stop moving. She was always rocking. You know how hard it is to kiss a moving target. You know? This is 50 years ago. Whatever. It was around the time that John Denver had recorded this Brian Bauer song called Berkeley Woman. And it was about a woman in a rocking chair. And then he also recorded his fiddler player's tune, Thank God I'm a Country Boy. So I kind of mashed up those kind of musical styles and themes or whatever. And I wrote this song for this rocking chair girl. Rocking chair girls, they got a funny way of making you feel. They hypnotize you as they rock and they reel, and get you chasing them after their heels. Oh, those rocking chair girls. Rocking chair girls, they got a special way of fixing their curls. Mesmerize you as they sway and they swirl. Around their finger they'll give you a twirl. Oh, those rocking chair girls. Yeah, they love you, man, like a nobody can, and take you down to the promised land, and make you love them till you cannot stand, and take you down there and love you again. Yes, sir. Rocking chair girls, you know they're Mother Nature's most precious pearls. No matter whose country's flag they unfurl, well, they're the best lovers in all of the world. Oh, those rocking chair girls. Yeah, they love you, man, like a nobody can, take you down to the promised land, make you shout out, yes I am a rocking chair man. Rocking chair girls, you got a funny way of making you feel. They hypnotize you as they rock and they reel, and get you chasing them after their heels. Oh, those rocking chair girls. Okay. Well, I told this story at Story Slam over at the theater. I met this woman at the theater, and we ended up in the Cattell Theater, the little black box theater, having a conversation. And she was telling me about her job. She was working at some nursing home. And there was this 83-year-old guy there that was still chasing the women around. She was wondering, well, I wonder, when I'm 83, if, some guy will still be chasing me around. But when I asked her out, she said, well, no, I don't want any of that now. I can't be bothered with any of that now. So she's in the first verse of this song. Second verse, different woman, same result. Oh, but I don't know if you're familiar with the Louise Penny murder mystery stuff, the Quebec detective. Well, they've got this character in the book called Ruth Zardo. She's this crusty old poet, that's got a duck that says fuck, 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 fuck all the time. And in some of the books, they quote, a line from what supposedly is one of her most famous poems. And I thought, that's a great line, so I worked it into the bridge of this song. So. And the third verse, I don't even want to talk about, because I hate when my own song turns on me. She spoke of a man in his 80s, down where she worked at the home. He still had an eye for the ladies, and rarely spent a night on his own. And she was thinking of her own future dotage. Would there be a man there so enamored? But when she got the chance to dance today, she just stepped aside, clamored, well, I've got my cat, my books, and some wine. I've got the moon above. Why should I be bothered with love? There's a woman ruled by her routine. Every day, every week was the same. Workouts and hiking, Spanish and yoga. Wordle was the name of the game. But once on a FOMO, she swiped right, just to see what the haps. He craned his neck to give her a peck, and this rigid woman just snapped. Yeah, I've got my meetups, classes, and church. I've got the moon above. Why should I be bothered with love? And the old poet quips, who hurt you once so far beyond repair, that you would meet each overture with curling lip. Icy stare. Well, there's a man confounded, dumbfounded by his lack of success, to strike a match, light up the path out of his own darkness. But there's rarely ever really a reason, just a word to the wise. Will stop second guessing, count your blessings, they may be in disguise. Yeah, you've got your songs, guitar and the muse and the moon above. Why should you be smothered by love, or the lack thereof. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I forgot there was all kinds of stories I was going to say about these songs, and I didn't do the stories, and now, you know, it's too late. Anyway. So, yeah, that was from my In the Year 23-24 little EP there. So there's 5 songs. This one because she kept saying, "Yeah, buddy, you know, in your dreams." In your dreams, man. Between the devil and the deep blue sea, in waters angels feared to tread, she left him drowning in love's debris. And this is all that she said: in your dreams, that's where you'll get to love me. In your dreams, between the devil and the deep blue sky, the lover's arrow missed its mark. Beneath a quivering moon's mournful eye, a basset bathes in the dark. In your dreams, she said, in your dreams, that's when you'll get to love me. In your dreams, bridge to nowhere, the road not taken, disparate souls stirred but not shaken. Her heart remains unmoved, and his unloved. Between the devil and her deep blue eyes, royal fortress on a verdant hill, no quarter given, no compromise. In her adamant dogged will. In your dreams, she said, in your dreams, that's where you'll get to love me. In your dreams, that's when you'll get to love me. In your dreams, springs forward and then falls back. Bipolar baby, her opposites attract. Magnetic eyes that pull you right in, then throw daggers that'll make your head spin. Round and round and round her finger you go, but when you stop she's thumbing her nose. She'll flip your poles round north and south, turn your world upside down, inside out. She springs forward and then falls back. Throw your the goatee's on too tight. She springs forward and then falls back. It doesn't matter what order I put these in. She springs forward and then falls back. Gave your rusty tin man's heart a cardiac. She sets your scarecrow brain on fire, and all her monkeys have wings of desire. The flights of fancy right into your dream. That twister nightmare, no one can hear you scream. Take you tripping down the yellow brick road, and click her flip-flops and send you back home. She springs forward and then falls back. Crown you a king, then you're a one-eyed jack. She's queen of every heart she's ever played, and then she'll hit you with a club and a spade. She's just a joker in every deck. You never know when or what to expect. She'll trump your ace, then renege on your soul, and shuffle off board to Buffalo. She springs forward and then falls back. Sweet siren song, then she's talking smack. You thought your music might light up her face. One wrong note and you're falling from grace. Big time crescendo, then she gives it a rest. No song will ever soothe her savage breast. So disconcerting, but the band plays on, an endless earworm long after she's gone. She springs forward and then falls back, throwing your train of thought right off of its track. She'll catch your red eye checking out her caboose. Man, you just better vamoose. Back to the depot at Union City. You better pull out now while you're sitting pretty. She never makes love on an empty stomach. Watch your head, man, now the tunnel is coming. She springs forward and then falls back. Bipolar baby will repel and attract. Mary Contrary, my flibberty gibbet, can't imagine my world without her in it. Not for a minute, an hour, or a day. She's my bipolar baby, what more can I say? So I'll spring forward when she falls back, and get this baby back on its track. Jack. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay. Well, I got a capo over here, don't I? Yes, I do. I don't know if you're familiar with the capo, but it's from the Latin. It means I can't play guitar in B flat. That's what that means. So now I'm going to have to tune because I put a capo on there. This song, I was dating this woman, again, years ago. And after a couple of dates, I was saying, well, can I see you again? She said, well, I'm kind of ambivalent about that. And I wasn't sure what that word meant. So I had to look it up. And I said, well, I'll put that in a song somewhere. So you'll hear it in this song. Whatever. When my heart fell off the wagon, and it rolled into your yard, you raked it in with the dead leaves from the fallen's color guard. It lay fallow throughout that season. The winter of all discontent. And it fed your bed of roses till the spring turned ambivalent. You know, I'd like to close the book upon this chapter of despair and never have to look down from this window ledge. But you gave it new meaning when you stripped our future bare, sent my heart careening along the razor's edge. And my wandering boots were held for ransom, while your roots were rotting wet. As that river raged between us from both sides of that bed, and I damn near drowned, both my lungs full of all the baby's breath in your hair. And I roamed the banks exhausted by your indulgences at the fair. You know, I'd like to close the book upon this chapter of despair and never have to look down from this window ledge. But you gave it new meaning when you stripped our future bare, sent my heart careening along the razor's edge. Send me the banner of your day to wrap around this heart on my sleeve. It still bleeds for you, crimson and blue, whether or not you believe in me. I do still believe in you. When my heart fell off the wagon and it rolled into your yard. Okay. Yes. This song started with a sign I saw in the bar that said, because the speed of light is faster than the speed of sound. Some people appear brilliant until they start talking. So this is a little bit of a science lesson, but of course, you know, with me, it took a left turn and became a love song. I was telling somebody earlier, I think 75-80% of the songs that I've written over the last 50 years are just another version of Why Must I Be a Teenager in Love? So. It's little wonder, since the speed of light is faster than the speed of sound, sometimes we're struck by a flash in the night before the thunder even rolls around. And it's little wonder that you never heard things that I left unsaid. Some disconnect inside of my head, that actions speak louder than words. Cause and effect, moon and the tide, something's happened naturally. Venus and Mars, two worlds collide. It's not the way it should be. try to remember, when push comes to shove, we should only be moved. Only be moved, we should only be moved by love. It's little wonder when a ship is off course, even by a single degree. She'll lay anchor on some faraway shores, an ocean from where she should be. And it's little wonder when I misunderstood the meaning of our drifting apart, that some iceberg would hit my heart, sink everything that was good. Cause and effect, moon and the tide, something's happened naturally. Venus and Mars, two worlds collide. It's not the way it should be. So try to remember, when push comes to shove, we should only be moved. Only be moved, we should only be moved by love. They say that every action has an equal reaction, but love is not a logical thing. And measure for measure's not a measured response, and look at all the heartache it brings. It's just cause and effect, moon and the tide, some things happen naturally. Venus and Mars, two worlds collide. It's not the way it should be. So try to remember, when push comes to shove, we should only be moved. Only be moved, we should only be moved by love. We should only be moved, we should only be moved by love. Back in Greek mythology, there was a woman named Halcyone who went out and literally drowned her sorrows when her husband was killed. So her father, Aeolus, god of the wind, turned them into a pair of kingfishers and gave them the power to calm the water and the wind. So kingfishers make their nests on the water. This is a song about an old sailor and the night he meets Halcyone. Wet Willie was a salty dog, untimely beached when a captain's log said his sea legs dried up, came unstrung. He could dance with the best of them, shake a leg with the rest of them, a girl in every port when he was young. And now he gimps down a lonely pier. He's in the twilight of his years. Sun and salt and spray have marked his face. He gets wetted down at Cappy's cantina, bedded down outside the marina. His mind's anchored in some other time and place. He's singing, dance with me, dance on the water. Ships at sea are Neptune's daughters. Lovers all are we of the deep blue sea. Dance with me, dance on the water. A ship is coming, it's time we caught her. Lovers of the sea, come and dance with me. Well, like a lady of the lake she came, skipping light as in a stoner's game, giving all the buoys a gentle ring. This merry dancer of the northern lights broke the stillness that quiet night. Willie jumped to his feet when he heard her sing. Dance with me, dance on the water. Ships at sea are Neptune's daughters. Lovers all are we of the deep blue sea. Dance with me, dance on the water. A ship is coming, it's time we caught her. Lovers of the sea, come and dance with me. Willie's legs gave a joyous shout. Years of dancing just getting out. Willie stepped off the pier onto the sea. He took her hand and gave her a twirl. She made a whir and sound like a Gibson girl. Spun off into the night, singing wistfully. Dance with me, dance on the water. Ships at sea are Neptune's daughters. Lovers all are we of the deep blue sea. Dance with me, dance on the water. A ship is coming, it's time we caught her. Lovers of the sea, come and dance with me. The captain's voice confirmed Willie's fate. Welcome aboard again, Willie, old mate. And Willie blinks in the glare of a golden gleam. Figurehead appears as the light allows. A ballerina taking the bow. That halcyon ship christened, 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 dancer's dream. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. I got a few more here, I think. What time is it? It's, I don't know, whatever. So about 30 years ago, I was in court on a Friday in December getting my heart ripped out. And so I got home the next day and I wrote this song. I don't remember writing it. It took me a long time to find chords and stuff that I liked, whatever. So I just, whatever. It's boring stuff. But I borrowed some stuff from Irving Berlin, Robert Frost, and Kevin Costner. So I'll kind of show it up in the second verse here. So this is my version of I'll Have a Blue, 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 Blue Christmas Without You. Sights and sounds of the season give a cold hard edge to your leaving. The bitter wind still blows right through my heart. I know it's time to get on with the living, forgetting and the forgiving. I just can't seem to find a place to start. You were my joy. You were my comfort and joy. The reason for my season of good cheer. You were my hope, my inspiration, and cause to celebrate the coming year. Now sleigh bells ring, but I can't listen as the carolers sing White Christmas without dreaming of the ones we used to know. In my field of dreams for the new year, I never dreamed I'd be stopping here to watch my broken heart fill up with snow. Oh, you were my joy. You were my comfort and joy. The reason for my season of good cheer. You my hope, my inspiration to cope, and cause to celebrate the coming year. I hope my heart will hibernate through the holidays, and after all the snow melts, so might all the love I felt for you were my joy, comfort and joy, reason for my season of good cheer. You were my hope, my inspiration to cope, cause to celebrate the coming year, cause to celebrate the coming year. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, last year for Thanksgiving, I was in Long Island visiting my brother and my niece and nephew and their spouses and kids. So I showed up at my nephew's house for Thanksgiving, and his son Braden, who was 11, looked at me and said, "Are you Jim Gary?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Wow." So evidently my brother's been playing my CDs in the car when he's got the grandkids in there. So the rest of the whole night was like, "Jim Gary, would you like a juice box? Will you autograph my juice box?" So I've decided all my royalties are going to go to Braden and his cousin James, who are my #1 fans. I don't know if you're watching tonight, guys, but... So I sent them, when I was working in the spring on the volume 2 of Michael Smith's stuff, I sent them a preview of this song, an abbreviated version, because I didn't want to put the last line in there on LSD, for a couple of 11-year-olds. But this is a Michael Smith song. Oh, and then my brother texted me and said, they won't stop singing this song. One day a beautiful princess was walking on the bog on a slab of peat. Who should she meet but Fred the talking frog? Top of the morning to you, lass, hello, hello, cries he. I'd be glad, if you'd stop a mo and listen close to me. You see, I've been bewitched, and I'm needing a royal miss, such as your lovely self, to give this ugly mug a kiss. Such a metamorphosis would then ensue, I'll tell you true, for I'm really a former prince, and I'll straightway marry you. To be rightful, Johnny go dare 'em, higgledy-piggledy, down and around, to me high-low, harem and scare 'em, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town, to me toady, show me capote, driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shafer to dance by the sea with a right cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. Well, I've heard that song and dance before, said the princess, it's all fine, but if it's a kiss you're after, the chances you'll have to stand in line. For there's frogs outside me father's castle, frogs in the royal hall, frogs is climbing up the chimney, frogs is bouncing off the wall, frogs is floating on the moat, up the stairs and on the shelf. If I had to kiss every one of yous, Jesus, I'd have no time to myself. So laddie, let's make it swift, for lately falls the hour, and I'm due home for me evening shift of pining in the tower. To me rightful, Johnny go dare 'em, higgledy-piggledy, down and around, to me high-low, harem and scare 'em, riding the white horse to Cranberry Town, to me toady, show me capote, Faith and Begorra, it's Maureen O'Hara, driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shafer to dance by the sea with a right cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. She's just about to kiss him. Mrs. Frog comes hopping by, crying, "Fred, you're late for supper." "Coming, dear," is his reply. "You mean he's not bewitched?" the princess says. "Just odd," says Mrs. Frog, and into kissing princesses that he meets upon the bog. And though I love me Fred, I fear he chafes at family ties. Or I'd invite you home to supper, my dear, but we only have 2 flies. Thank God you didn't kiss him, this is your lucky day. When I kissed Fred, I was a princess too, that's how I got this way. Rightful, Johnny go there, and higgledy-piggledy, down and around me, high-low, Harriman Scarum, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town. To me toady, to me capote, Faith and Begara, it's Maureen O'Hara, hark to the herald, it's Barry Fitzgerald, we're driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shafer to dance by the sea, with a right cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. Toady, Truman Capote, Faith and Begara, it's Maureen O'Hara, hark to the herald, it's Barry Fitzgerald, all in a Volkswagen with Victor McLagan, we're driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shea, for to dance by the sea with a Guinness and me on a beery Sunday morning, or to dance by the sea with an LSD, Timothy Leary, Sunday morning. Michael Smith. At one point, Rolling Stone called Michael Smith the most literate songwriter in the English language. So I should do some more of his stuff then. I have a friend who is famous in France, though he's not quite that well known over here. It's hard to explain what he does there in France, but it certainly keeps him in beer. When he walks down the street they call the Champs-Élysées, all the folks treat him like he's Marie Chevalier. When he goes in the bar he gets free Cabernet. Oh, it pays to be famous in France. Famous in France, well then French fries are free, or snails, or Dijon as you prefer. And French kisses, of course, happen so constantly, soon your tongue can't pronounce ends of word. Yellow subtitles under each thing you say put you on stamps dressed up in funny ways. A toga, a spear, a gauze, a beret, what the hey, you are famous in France. Everyone. Beautiful. You go down to Cannes for the movie previews, and there's Arnold, Sylvester, Jerry Lewis, Camus, Gerard Depardieu, Roger Ebert, Brigitte Bardot, and you. That's a clue, you are famous in France. When my friend's life is over, they'll play Marseillais, have Eartha Kitt sing C'est Bon. Spectre Clouseau will trip into the grave, there'll be puppets with Leslie Caron. Catherine Deneuve and Eric Satie will be shot by Claudine Lange accidentally. Chez la femme au revoir, chez Howie au tragique, they'll sing Dominique, they'll say, C'est la vie mon ami. Have some brie, he was famous in France. Oh Fifi, il est fini, et fromage, Grand du Paris. Who was he? Don't ask me, for you see he was famous in France. You see he was famous in France. Yeah. That's it. All right. One more Michael Smith, and then I'm out of here. Okay. I was are you guys familiar with the Detectorists on BBC or Acorn TV? It's a club of guys that go out with metal detectors, try to find stuff. They go, oh yeah, there's a bottle cap, Coca-Cola 83, and this kind of stuff. And the thing was, I didn't realize at the time that the main actor was also the writer and director and stuff. And so they put out this little, half-hour, episodes, and it won them all these BAFTAs. So they did another season, and they introduced his girlfriend's mother. And so he just went around and got friends that he had been to theater with and said, I'm writing this pilot, you want to be in it, and he calls this one actress and says, you want to be my girlfriend, And then when they're casting her mother, they said, well, who do you think we should cast as your mother? And she said, well, what about my mother? So they cast her mother as her mother on Detectorists, and her mother was Diana Rigg. And so it's a fascinating, it's fun, it's hilarious, it's quirky, it's funny, and at one point, he's always saying, yeah, I'll quit detecting, I'll get a real job, kind of stuff. And she knows he's lying, kind of stuff, And then so she's like, oh no, you can't do that, you're my Howard Carter. You're going to discover the Valley of the Kings, And as they're getting closer, he's looking down her dress. And she says, can you see anything? And he says, yes, wonderful things. Which is a quote from Howard Carter. And I wouldn't have known that, but it's in Michael Smith's songbook as on top of this song, that quote from Howard Carter. So I worked it into the intro for this song of Michael Smith's. As my eyes grew accustomed to the light, details of the room within emerged slowly from the mist. Strange animals, statues, and gold. Everywhere, the glint of gold. For the moment, it must have seemed an eternity for the others standing by. I was struck dumb with amazement. And when Lord Carnarvon, unable to stand the suspense any longer, inquired anxiously, "Can you see anything?" It was all I could do to get out the words, "Yes, wonderful things." Oh, Mr. Tut, what good's it do? They love your chair, but nobody cares for you. Egyptian nights were never colder, and all your friends are thousands of years older. Whatever happened to that gang down by the Sphinx? Seems they're only 40 winks away. And those girls from Cairo with their belly button jewels made you play the fool yesterday. And now you keep in shape with Elmer's glue. Man, you're all wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. Oh, Mr. Tut, they love the mask. But do they love you, honey, sweetheart, don't ask. Where's those baby browns and the pearly smile? Oh, that smile that drove them wild by the early Nile. You make one terrific hieroglyphic, don't you, bro? Centuries of standing sideways turned you to a pro. And those girls from Cairo who filled your heart with lust, they've all turned to dust yesterday. The bandages didn't do that much for you, all wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. Oh, Mr. Tut, they dig the tune, yeah. All that gold leaf brightens up a room. But what's the diff when you're stiff? What riff they're playing? And your ears have spent 5,000 years decaying. What does it matter what possessions you may boast? When you're just a ghost, it's only jive. Clyde, your sarcophagus is glowing, but your esophagus is showing. Who cares how rich you are, love, when you look like Boris Karloff? And they even named some dog food after you. And you're all rubbed off in the Egyptian blues. hit the road, Tut. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Tut. Don't you come back no more. I just threw that in there for the hell of it. God forgive me. And in this case, God is Michael Peter Smith. Oh, Mr. Tut, you wait and see. Another few thousand years they're gonna dig up me. I'll have all my little treasures near at hand. CD of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. A little dried out Maui Wowie crumbled in a bong. Letters from my honey saying, love you kid, so long. Some peanut butter sandwiches, long return to sand. Not much gold or silver, oh, but Tut, I think you'll understand that in my way I'll be just like you. All wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. All wrapped up, all wrapped up. All wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's go somewhere and get drunk.
Jim Gary, everybody. Well, I don't know if you know this about the two-way street.
I think I've known this since about 1997.
But nobody, and I mean nobody, gets out of the two-way
Nobody.
street without an encore. Should Jim play another
Well, I'm
song?
nobody, so I should get out.
Oh, no. Say it isn't so.
Oh,
The crowd
All
speaks.
right.
They want another song.
okay. All right. Well, this song started, there was a disc jockey back in Lansing when I was at Michigan State. He was on WJIM. I don't know why I remember that. But he used to sign off every morning and drive time, 10 o'clock in the morning, with a Christmas song or a carol, trying to keep the spirit going the whole year round. So. It's only in giving we really receive. Only in living what we say we believe. Only in harmony we reach that sweet accord. Only in goodwill will good peace be restored. Keep a Christmas cookie in your heart all year round. Break a corner off each day and pass the peace around. Let the spirit of the season fill you to the grin, so when that stranger knocks, you let him in. It's only in loving we're truly loved. Only uplifting others will we rise above. Only in comforting a friend are we unladen. Only in fellowship we sail to higher haven. Keep a Christmas cookie in your heart all year round. Break a corner off each day and pass the peace around. Let the spirit of the season fill you to the grin, so when that stranger knocks, you let him in. Angels on high awaken us to sing to. Every day, some small way, make the words ring true. Keep a Christmas cookie in your heart all year round. Break a corner off each day and pass that peace around. Let the spirit of the season fill you to the grin, so when that stranger knocks upon your heart, you let him in. You let him Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you. Be safe. Drive home.